Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? And what I'm curious for you and your experience, what became the shift? Because I feel like people need to hear what shifts are so they can start to identify them for themselves.
Mm. The shift for me was taking accountability for my circumstances instead of being a victim of my circumstances. Not everyone gets to that place. Some people end up being 45, still in that toxic job, and blaming everyone else for the issues that they have. Whereas I did at one point in my life just decide, you know what? Enough is enough. I have all of these thoughts going on in my brain. Yes, growing up in a single parent family without much money is possibly a cause of that. Yes, maybe not having so much positive relationships is a cause of that. But whatever I've been handed to in a platter in my life, I need to take full accountability for that. And off the back of that, I went away and did a wellness retreat for 10 days. I had 10 days vacation and I learned how to manage my thoughts. I learned how to observe my thoughts. I learned how to move through that, what I would call poverty mindset of just being a victim all the time. This happened when I was about 24, and that's what's really skyrocketed my life. And that's what's even helped me, even when I back on 10 pounds and then lost that 10 pounds again, actually love myself at any weight and know that I'm taking action towards health all the time.
What, you know, what is poverty mindset? Like, I think it'd be helpful if you define that because I, in my own right, have a thought about what that means, but I'd love to know your context.
That's a really great question. And I do think it means different things to different people because a poverty mindset can mean literal poverty. So you were raised through poverty, raised on welfare. We were eligible for welfare growing up. So in that mind, that's kind of where that mindset's come from. But poverty mindset to me is a feeling of lack in any regard. It could be in your relationships, it could be in your finances, it could be in your career. Feeling like you're lacking in some way or not good enough for something.
And in that, like, did that become, like, a catalyst for dealing with it? Like, I think everybody who's in corporate at some point, especially if you're moving towards burnout and you're out of alignment, you're probably trying to work through anxiety, through depression. How do you move through that? Like, if your mindset is in the poverty, because my mindset was certainly there, and I think a lot of people's are, the lack mentality, the stuckness, the this is the good as it's ever gonna be, and yet you're in this parallel of pain and suffering all the time, right? How do you start to move through that and move into alignment with what it is that you actually want in your life?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's different for everyone. So, I have experienced pretty intense depression, and I cannot tell you how difficult it was to get out of bed. And just getting from a 1 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10 and taking things slow is what worked for me. But when it comes to stress management, depression management, and anxiety management, look, go to your doctor first, get on antidepressants if you need to, get therapy if you need to. But in terms of lifestyle changes, it really is managing your stress hormone cortisol. So nowadays we have perceived stress rather than actual stress. Back in the day, tiger jumps out of a bush, our stress response goes off. Our bodies haven't evolved that much. Now it's a last minute meeting on the calendar. Oh goodness, my boss is going to fire me. That's my livelihood. So we're kind of creating our own stress. So definitely using your cortisol hormone or stress in general to leverage getting better. And that could just mean sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night to begin with. That could be using some sort of supplement like ashwagandha. It could be going to a therapist, working through all your thoughts. It could be journaling. Look, it looks different to everyone. I provide a toolkit of all the different things you can try for your stress. Try one thing for 4 weeks, see what works for you, and then move on to the next thing. But it really narrows down to like the thoughts that are going on in your head. How you get there is up to you.